screen share.
Hey guys, and welcome to the official tournament of NiBBLE Week 16. Today, guys, we're going to be having some of the most interesting gameplay going through in the tournament because we have so many of these people, guys, who are forming new teams. They're forming so much, but I'm not alone here, guys. I'm actually joined by Ruan the Boss, who will become sort of a perma caster here in the NiBBLE series. Welcome, Ruan. How you doing?
Yeah. I'm great, Alex. I can't wait. Like taking this like responsibility of being like a more like getting into the casting is like amazing. I can't wait. I really can't wait for this.
Yeah,
Really
it's gonna
excited.
it's gonna be amazing. I mean, first and foremost, we got the 5 games that it's gonna be going into the effect. So we got the first game just starting in about 2 minutes, guys. So make sure you guys are at the edge of your seats, and as well as sharing the stream across to your social media platforms so that we can get that engagement. But your champion sort of coming into this tournament over here, guys, is gonna be Jamie Crispy as well as Ginger, as they did win the Week 15 finals. They're here to potentially hold on to that title, but it's not going to be an easy battle as we have Reapsy, his trio, as well as a new third joining over there, Swish. Tell us what you think about that, Swish being a new third in the Reapsy Tem trio.
I mean, Switch has a good like background when it comes to like competing. I mean, they made FNZA's Heats back 2 seasons ago, and I mean, they have with Switch being introduced. I think that might be the one thing they needed. That extra fighter who knows how to like handle any fight, approach any fight, and yeah, dominate the lobby when they need to.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I mean, Swish has stayed loyal to that Nyclo, Stale, and Swish sort of trio, but that has been so long in the making, and it's finally come to a sort of end where Stale has officially announced that he will be quitting Fortnite and so forth. So now Swish, obviously looking to continue his journey in competing, he will be joining Reapsy and Tem, but there's other trios out there, guys. We also got Travis, the Cov, and Rejects. On top of that, we're going to be looking at Ace, Glubs, and Luca. And then we also got Psycho, Swizzy, and his third, E-Take, Ryder, and Altus, and Paris, E-Take. And then another upcoming player, Mike Sticks. He's been making the numbers. Tell us all about Mike Sticks. I mean, you talked about him quite familiar off stream. So let's hear what we have
Yeah,
to hear.
yeah, like you said, like off stream we were talking about it about him, and I mean it's one of those things where I usually say Fortnite won't never die. Like every day, there's someone new coming in the community out of nowhere and making an impact and making a name for themselves. And he's just one of those examples. I think over the last 2 weeks, he's done a lot to show that he is someone people should keep an eye on,
Yeah.
especially when it comes to orgs and teams. And I think he's making a name for himself. And we'll see what happens today with his trio. So because today he's playing with Vibes and Ryder, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah,
So
that's
yeah,
gonna
we'll see what happens.
That's going to be him. Guys, the players are competing at a chance of 2,000 Rand total prize pool. The first team walking away with 1,400, and then second place will be walking away with a 600 Rand. But let's go jump into the gameplays, guys, as we do jump on board with Vibes. Vibes here competing again, guys, with Ryder as well as Mike 60, new upcoming player here in the South African Fortnite community. And you keep on saying like new upcoming, but everyone thought this game will somehow find its end, somehow find a downhill in players joining in and trying to dominate the scene. That doesn't seem to be the case. Every month there's sort of a new player that sort of does something unique, does something that is unexpected. Mike Sticks, when he did so well this month, he actually grew his numbers triple, and playing with Vibes and Ryder, which is a huge achievement, seeing that Vibes is quite known in the community. But that's what I love about the Fortnite South African scene, guys, is that it has its shakes and turns and makes it so much more dramatic than any other gaming title out there in South Africa. But here on board with Vibes at Lazy Lake, it does look like a good POI drop spot for him, and he is cautious, so maybe being contested. I did see on social media Damas could potentially be in the area.
Yeah, that will be a very good like off spawn fight. We would like to see if they have what it takes to like fight the POI. I mean, Lazy's POI where everyone gets the loot they need. You get uh, it's got the most chest spawns in the game when it comes to like a POI, like single POI. After
Mm.
that, it's Misty itself. So I mean, they've got a good POI. Yeah, if they contest it, they're gonna have to fight for it. And I mean, there hasn't been much like practice for people or players to fight for their drops. So this is if they are contested, it's gonna be a very good battle today.
Yeah, definitely, and it does look like they are playing it passive, not really looking to get any knocks or tags just yet. And we will be starting the game number one with 81 players or seven. Yeah, I think what 80 players in the first game, so that's gonna be really stack of a zone. It is the NiBBLE finals over here, guys, happening every bi-weekly, but something's in the works for December, and I can't just say exactly yet what exactly we got planned for the NiBBLE series towards the first end of the first year end of the first sort of series that we've had with you guys. We started the series in February. It's been going on now for so many months, and we've seen trios for the entire year. But as you guys all know, Fortnite Duos has officially been announced. Let's see exactly what the gameplay and game mode will be going into NiBBLE. But yeah, more announcements will be made available soon. So keep your eyes peeled on that one. It does look like Deimos and them are being aggressive in this situation here.
Yeah, definitely. It looks like the players are like all getting like pressure, put under pressure by the opponents, as looks like they were contested by someone. So we'll see what happens. Looks like they did like disengage from the POI, but I think second game around we will see off spawn fight as the team will the opponents will realize, okay, they're running away very quick, so we need to engage into a fight or like get get a new POI. So I think second game we will see more action coming from Lazy Lake. So we'll keep an eye out for that on the next game.
Yeah, definitely. Let's go jump on board, guys, with the other competitors we have here in the NiBBLE Finals Week 16. And to jump on board, guys, we can actually go and see Travis, Decov, and Rejects. They haven't really had their moment just yet in the finals of a NiBBLE. And you know they have this high potential from the community to sort of pop off, and they just haven't done that just yet. So questions on when that will be coming. I mean, for you, how do you see this team performing today?
I mean, it's the classic. They've been dominating ZA tourneys since they started forming as a trio. So I don't think it's going to be something new if they do dominate today. But we'll have to wait and see what happens. I mean, they didn't play in the last nibble, but it looks like they're back for this one, and I think they've got a very good chance of winning today. We'll see what happens and how the gameplay transpires.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see exactly what will be going into play. But Catty Corner, the usual drop spot that we get to see the team come out of there. Now they got their desired loadout, they got the vehicles to make the rotations, and since looking at vibes, only two other players have died out of this one. And now we also go look at that team, you know, Swish joining Reepsy and Tem means that now NiBBLE joins the new team, and you guys can see exactly over here that he will be joining Light CK as well as Spooky in the tournament over here, guys. So that one's gonna be very much interesting on how they play. CK and Spooky just haven't found the desired third. I mean, ever since Bojo, the IGL of Light CK has, you know, gone to NA East, or they haven't really found their spark yet.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, with NiBBLE is like you said, they needed that IGL like Bojo, like you said, like Bojo. And NiBBLE is ideally an IGL. Like we've seen him compete in multiple tourneys, and I mean, he knows exactly where to go, how to rotate, exactly when to take that height when you need it, when to play low ground, stuff like that. So I think NiBBLE could be a great addition to this trio as an IGL. So I mean, we'll see what happens. Yeah, I think like there was like this is one of those trios I think are they got a good chance if on the day they play at their best and everything goes to plan.
Yeah, definitely. It's always been a challenging one, especially in trios. If one person's sort of out of sync with the trio, then the entire trio sort of collapses because roles are very essential. You got a topper, support, and fragger, and most cases, if the fragger's not present, your back walls are gonna be, open up, then and you're not really gonna be secure in the back part of the tunnel, and then if your support player is just a bit trying to become a fragger in that case, which most of the time there is two fraggers, one sort of slash support, then it's just not going to be the gameplay. But here today, guys, we've got NiBBLE, who is an IGL, right?
Yeah, I mean he took his trio into heats 2 seasons ago. Nightclub Swish and then Stale as well. And I mean they made heats and they I mean no one expected it the way they did play. In the 1 week they almost placed top 10 in Middle East in one of the qualifiers. So I mean he knows exactly how to like IGL and just lead his trio into like the right position, take the right fights, and yeah.
Ooh, and talking about the right fights right now, maybe this one could be questionable very early in the game, going in for full one. But this is a bounty, and they feel as if that they can get the eliminations on these players and then turn things around for them. So let's see exactly how things plan out for the team right here. We do see CK being highly targeted right now. So let's see what happens. It doesn't want to be too aggressive in terms of how this one plays out as they are being targeted. The bounty is very surreal, and that seems to be the team that they actually bountied on, being bounted by actually.
Yeah, it could like from my man what I've heard, it could be one of two trios. It could be Zakis and them, or it could be Reepsy. So looks like they do decide just to disengage from the fight. I mean, you don't really want to fight either one of those two trios, as we said earlier. Like with Swish being part of Reepsy's trio now. I mean, it's a new addition to fighting. So, but yeah,
Literally. Now we go over to Woke, Neymar, and Scorer, who have a 3-2-1 position on board, but they don't really get any tags. They are quite damaged in terms of storm damage. So if they do get pumped in some surreal manner, then they will be in some trouble. But there's some floppers being deployed to Woke and as well as Neymar, so they're back at good amount of HP, and they look like they're going to be taking this fight. He does have a position of beam if he does get through this wall. Doesn't look like it was successful. Trying to get in as much angles and peaks possible. You can see Neymar on the very much height, drops all the way down, and if they can just surround this team in a sense where they can beam from different essence, then that will really work out here.
yeah, they're just looking for those angles, making sure like if they can get a like easy kill on someone and then clean up the rest of the trio. But looks like they're deciding let's rather rotate because zone's about to close anytime soon. So
Yeah, definitely. And with the, added heals that they already took in play with the floppers, they may not have any more utilities for that white HP. But I'm liking how Fortnite is playing, right? We have 80 players who sort of jump from the bus into the gameplay, and only 5 have been eliminated. So this one really showing up to be a stacker of a game, 167 damage here. Now, Ruan, you know these things when it comes down to which numbers, etc. In trios, what is the safe mark for the damage threshold?
usually like second zone, that's when 70 people need to be alive. Usually you need to get as much as surge as you can. Get yourself in a good position, get yourself on a hill, and get yourself like as much as you can. Like that's when people usually early rotate and people rotate in the open. They think that they're not gonna get tagged. But to be safe, you usually want to get anything above like 300 like damage on tags on people. So that would be ideally. And then as you go, like every storm surge warning or threshold, I would say like what I've seen is get 200 or 2 to 300 every time. So
Mm.
as you go, like when it's the third zone where there's 50 people, you need to get at least 600 tags of damage, and then as you go, and then from there on, I think from there on you don't really need to worry too much about tags if you got enough tags.
Ooh, and look what happens over here. Ricey trying to play the defense, and they just gonna get storm rolled over here by also Capra, and that is gonna be GG's over there. No, also Capra is Ricey, my bad. But now Energy and Deimos are just a duo, so this one's gonna be interesting. I don't see the team playing an aggressive game to go and double key the rest. I mean, it could potentially put them in a tough position, as Energy and Deimos are fully healed up, ready for whatever could potentially bring their way. We'll go over to Gloves and Ace just to see what this team is capable of doing, how things are looking out for them, and we'll bring their POV up for you guys in just a second. But it does look like they're in some intense situation as it stands right now, so let's see how they play out.
Yeah, it looks like they are on the edge of zone. It looks like they are like barely above that storm surge. I mean, 4 players still need to die, so we'll see what happens here. Someone jumps into their box. Gloves does get the knock on the player.
Oh, and it does deal severe damage as well to the other opposition, and knocks one, but also Rakic in a tough position as he has been knocked, but now Gloves taking so much damage, down to 23 HP. He does have a couple minis as well as a big pot, but that white HP is at a crucial limit of point. And if you look at that zone right now, in 40 seconds, it's going to be decreasing, and these players now need to make that rotation, need to make that decision on what the next play is going to be. Ricey potentially going to be fighting this one off right here. So let's see exactly what will be happening. It does look like it goes out of bounds for him, and Ace as well as Gloves just not really in a good position in this fight. Ace left alone to take on this fight here, and it does look like that launch pad has already been dropped for them to sort of move over. So yeah, 2 launch pads, questionable.
Yeah, I think he's or someone has placed 2 or he has placed 2 just in case a team does or that team just does come fight him. I think he's just gonna grief them, and yeah, I mean if he's a solo now, he has the reboot card, so if he can reboot, then he's got a better chance of playing for that end game, getting as much points as they can, and yeah, I think they will be sorted from there.
Definitely will be, yeah. But that is just unfortunate scenes. The way they took the fight, and you know there was pressured moments. They just came out of zone, fighting on zone as well. So they also dependent on that time, and when rushing, they just going to make themselves a little bit vulnerable in those situations. But 70 players remain going into the 4th zone soon. So we'll be able to see exactly what will be happening. But it does look like one of the teams quite close has been griefed by a petrol canister, and it will mean that one of the players, which is Ved, will get knocked. And the player who actually got that knock was Vibes. However, Altus in this trio is finding himself being in a tough position, but they can't get the revive if a Smiley does hold the builds, good hard mats, and a good defensive position that they find themselves in. And there you go, Altus is alive. But look at this. Doesn't look like the team has any heals whatsoever. Has Smiley only has the shotgun with 29, I mean the AR with 29 ammo.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they'll find a way to get some heals. I see there is a fishing spot around, so hopefully he does communicate that to his teammates and they use that harpoon and get some heals for altars.
Definitely would be very awesome, but in these pressured moments, they're not even thinking about that. The harpoon is just right there, and it doesn't seem like it comes into mind for them to actually fish up some loot. Maybe they're getting closer. That's the case. Doesn't look like it. Going over to Travis and them just to see. Now, Tem, we haven't really looked at Tem's wish. Has Wall has his other third over here, Reepsy. So I say other third, but
Other
Reepsy is the
third, like you
IGL.
don't know who it is.
Like Reepsy is the IGL. He's not the other third,
you like
guys.
saying the other third like you don't know the name of. But yeah, I mean, I think they're in a comfortable position. I don't think they've moved too much. I mean, the zone's very close to Pony, and that's the POI they land at. So I think they've been getting up their tags, getting up their surge, and I think they should be good when it comes to surge. But we'll see in a second when we do see that storm surge activating or the warning coming up, threshold coming up. But I don't think they need anything. They're just looking around, getting more damage. Oh, they are only 100 above. They're gonna have to get more. Like I said, we'll see when they do get more tags.
Ooh,
You just see the
so
blanks
many
after each other. I think
blanks.
I can only imagine Tim's reaction to this.
Yeah, so many blanks coming in, potential surge tags that they could have gotten over there, but just because of how stacked this very end game is, it means laggy end games, which is very unfortunate.
Yeah, as you can see, that damage threshold is dropping quickly, and I mean they're only 12 above. People are gonna like, especially when it comes to storm surge, people start panicking. Like if you're not like experienced, they panic, they start jumping into boxes, and yeah, like we can see now, they're below actually. So if they don't make a plan, I'm sure they will. Oh, Tim does get beamed there. If they don't make a plan, they will go down to storm surge.
Definitely, and not really a good position here for Tem. He's done so much, just unfortunate scenes, and we stick on board with the team. They're getting tagged up over here. Tem is literally a smither of HP, and now they need to pull a max zone while having the potential storm surge activation go onto the body. They deal the damage, and which seems to be enough for now. 7 players need to drop dead. And let's go look at some of the players that are potentially playing this one out very passively, like Altus, but unfortunately Altus is going to be eliminated. We can go over to Gen Z to check if he's in this one, and he is, but underrated players doing the most. And go over to Vibes just to see exactly what's happening over there for him, whether or not his team is alive in this one. Could be an interesting play out for them, and they are indeed doing okay. One player needs to survive the threshold over here. And talk about stacked, right? Because we're about to go into the moving zones with 50 players alive.
Yeah, that's incredible. For oh, he does get a beam. That's incredible. If not not every trio 20 there's always storm surge activated at third zone. So seeing this today, it's very stacked, I would say. I mean, it's good to see something like this because players play more passive. They want to play for that end game. They do want to win the game. Like that's ideally the aim of the game. Last man standing. That's the battle royale. So yeah.
Yeah, let's see exactly what will be going into play in these final moments right now. We do see the feed light up, and we'll go on board with some of the other players, but let's see exactly how Vibes, Ryder, and Mike Stakes handle the rotations going in for the final sort of first moving zone that we'll get over here. So now the decision is when do they make that launchpad play? When do they do these type of things?
Yeah, they got that launch pad to move for the first moving zone. As we can see, they pull it more or less, but they know where they'll pre-plan it and place the launch pad as soon as they think it's the right time to rotate.
Yeah, let's see exactly what happens with him and how the things go. But now that zone starts to shrink, players start to get into pressured moments. We see Stary picks up an elimination, and that is onto Pepper. So GG's to him. They're going in for what could be a long jump and a big one indeed. And look at all these builds going left, right, and center. Players in front of them as well. But it does look like they're going to be in a good position to stay ahead, and as well as a good layer. Nobody really focusing them right now. But how can they when the zone is pulling max for so many players and they all need to focus on the rotations? It's just not an easy task to do. Vibes here really handling the rotation and topping quite well for the team.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he's staying ahead, making sure he keeps his trio ahead. The trio looks back, looking for those impact frags, looking for kills. But yeah, he does slip there, and like he loses attention of his top, and they take his wall. And I mean, his whole trio does get punished in a way there by getting beamed.
Mike Sticks needs to heal up as that surge is going to activate right here, right now. The damage is going to be seen as we do see the lightning bolts do come down upon these players. Let's see exactly if they will be able to survive this, as now 4 players need to die, but Vibes is getting in the damage. 1 player gets knocked, and that's Ryder, and these players are in a tough position. They won't be able to survive this. It doesn't look like it, but now above the damage of threshold, still so many players looking to die. Vibes unfortunately cannot make it out of that rotation. He is going to be blocked in that play, and we go over to Woke, Neymar, and Skara, as Neymar is dead, and Woke and Skara making the rotations as they do. Still so many placement points here available for these guys over here, Ruan.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like, there's so many placements. This is when you want to just stay alive, play for that top 2, and then fight the last team. But looks like these guys, like Woke and them, are getting very aggressive. They're looking for the kills. They're clearing that low ground like perfectly. They want to clear that low ground and make sure they own everything at the bottom and make sure like everything's theirs. So as long as they do that and make sure they claim their own layer, they should be fine.
Yeah, they should be fine, and they are doing exactly that. They are dealing the damage. He needs that damage to come through. Unfortunately, Woke just a second too late. Is going to find himself getting eliminated, and Skara is going to be walking on those rotations as a solo, and that's not really where you want to be in. As well as CK carrying out the placements for the team, and so many eliminations that is being carried out as well. To go over to Travis just to see exactly what's happening with them. We just pop on board with them right now, and they are in a tough position. They do get 2 of their players knocked. Rejects will get eliminated at 9th place over there. So very unfortunate to see. But we go and jump on board with Tem and Reepsy as they are alive. Swish dead. And this is exactly what you wouldn't have expected, seeing that they were in tough position. But now it's a solo. It's going to be Reepsy. He's going to need to do the work that he can possibly. No really any white heals for him. He's going into the zones and he needs a little bit of time, but he's trying to get that zone onto him, and he does so successfully right now. 30 HP, needs a flopper, needs just a kill, and he can't get that.
Yeah, he hugs the zone and he does see the player, but looks like the players are getting aggressive. They really want to get into zone, and Reepsy's between them.
Oh,
and
Reepsy.
He does get the elim.
Reepsy, unfortunately, will be eliminated over there. We're still on board with Steri and them as they try to win and progress further into the game. Sleen, Steri, and Aviva. No, this is actually Aviva and them who are doing really well as well in this final positions. It's coming down to potentially a heal of even 4 players remaining, and does look like maybe a couple more solos over here, and it's a pump to the face, and he is done and dusted, and we can't really see exactly who's managed to win that game over there, but that was successful in the sense that it was only 80 players that went into this first game over here, and somehow we went to the very end with so much Storm Surge.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that was a very good game to especially watch, and I'm sure the players had a great time. I mean, that Storm Surge was heavy there at a point. I mean, we saw Reepsy and them almost go down to that Storm Surge. So well done to all the cheers, yeah. And I think that was like a very good start to this NiBBLE.
Definitely. Let's see exactly what is in store for us in game number 2. But don't forget, guys, to hit that subscribe, hit the like button, as well as turn on post notifications, guys, because we got week 17, which will be coming very soon. You guys don't want to miss out on the qualifying broadcasts as well as the finals. So make sure you guys are around to stick in here. Let us know what you think about the NiBBLE. Go over to social media, use the hashtag NiBBLEXEPS as well as hashtag NiBBLE Arena. And we'll be seeing exactly what you guys have in mind for this tournament. What you guys think about that game number 1. So many oopsies and mistakes. And we'll talk all about it in game number 2. So let's jump overboard with a little bit of a short break. We'll be back.
What we do here is go back, 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 back.
Hey guys, and welcome back to game number 2, guys. We're going to be looking at the standings first and foremost. We'll talk about that and we'll be bringing that standings to you guys over right now. So, interesting. I mean, Ron, take us through this.
Yeah, I mean, COD Sterry Latte taking the Vicroy in game one. I mean, and showing that they're a team to reckon with in today's NiBBLE. And then second, someone we didn't think we'd see there,
Yeah.
Aviva and Retrieve and Slane. I didn't expect that. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I was shocked when I saw that. But it looks like they did very good in that game one, and they got second with a good amount of elim. I think they got 8 elims in that game. So yeah, that's why we see them there in second. And then in third we see Psycho and Swizzy. Also, like as they're on the leaderboard, that's how they got the placement in the game. They got third as well
Mm.
with a few kills as well. So I think that the top three looks very comfortable in like the place they sit. And then obviously we have Ripsy and them in fourth. Ripsy, Tim, and Swish. We spoke about them earlier, and it looks like they're finding their feet in as a trio. So not bad for the top four.
Yeah, definitely not bad at all. And going over to number 5, we got Travis sitting on 19, Shahil sitting on 18, Punishers X WRG sitting on 18 as well. And then in 8 is Spooky, Nyclo, and Seaclair with 16. And 9th is WRG Storm with 16. And in 10th is Neymar Woken Scarer with 14. That top 10 is looking way, way too close. I mean, in the matter of from 5th to 10th, it's only 5 points. So literally anyone can grab that. And then from 5th to 1st, it's a matter of what, 20 points? No, 10 points? 11 points? Yeah, 11 points. So that is going to be an interesting sort of feel to game 2, 3, and 4. I don't see it getting so uh, close to someone just consistency. I don't see the consistency being through one team where we know they will win after a set amount of games. I feel the teams that are currently in top 5, they do not know what it feels like to be in top 5, like you mentioned, the Viva, etc. There's a bit of a shock over there. Psycho, Swizzy, new trio today. If anything goes wrong, the mentality can also switch off over there as well. So it's going to be an interesting sort of games going into the gameplay over there. Then the prize pool, guys. This is exactly what they're walking away with. So it's 2,000 rand. First place is going to be 1,400, and in second is going to be 600 rand. And then your previous defending champions was, of course, again, Crispy, Jamie, and Ginger, who will be competing again in this week to try defend their championship, but not looking too well. As we did see, they are sitting seventh right now. But like I said, anyone's game can go in their favor right here, right now. And for the next 3 to 5 games, it's just really not going to be easy at all.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they like in the previous NiBBLE they did set the high score of most points in a NiBBLE. So, and after talking to them after that, I spoke to them and they do want to win more. They did say they want to win more NiBBLEs as a trio,
Mm,
and because I think that's the third one, Crispy and I think Jin like the whole trio combined when you like whoever they played with, that's they all share a title of three NiBBLEs and they won that fourth one as a trio together.
mm. Yeah, no, let's see exactly what happens. I mean, they have shown some consistency in the area of trios and so forth, but a bit of a mentality question coming out from Crispy. We all know we've seen he's, presence for Fortnite, taking a break, coming back, etc. So let's see what
Yeah,
this
due to
means.
those internet issues, he does have that like up and downs where he does want to quit and he doesn't want to play. So yeah, we'll see what happens. As a trio, I think they are a very good trio together. So we'll see what happens today.
Yeah, let's see exactly what will be the plays going into the next sort of games. But we also do have some of the guys we didn't get to actually watch off spawn, and maybe for that reason we didn't get to see any off spawn sort of situation, and we seen Max over there. So
Yeah. So yeah, we have a trio. Yeah, I mean, not everyone really sees a lot of them, but I mean, like like you said earlier, like there's always new people coming into the com, and you just like it keeps the Fortnite ZA com alive. I mean, like if there's new players, that means new people to look at, new people to watch. You never know when the next Neymar can come around, and then Neymar needs to defend his crown as one of the best players.
exactly. I mean, I feel, however, that Neymar dominations is still very much in a long time from happening in a way. Like I feel like he's still here to do well, and yes, he hasn't been doing well in the past couple of months. Since splitting with Travis when it comes down to duos as well. He's playing with Woke, and they haven't really found a footing just yet.
Yeah, like especially like when you start switching trios around, it's things like that do happen. It's the nature of the game. You need to adapt to playing with new players. You need to play a new play style. It takes a while. Like that's why Fortnite's so great. Like you can one day be one of the best, and then when you do switch trios, like it doesn't work. You gotta find that perfect blend of like working together as a team when it
Mm.
comes to cheers. So yeah, that's basically what it's about when it comes to that situation with Neymar.
Definitely. Well, let's see exactly what will be happening. I just question how long it will take, for him to find the area that he plays in and that consistency sort of in a way. So let's see what will be the plays going forward, whether or not it will come.
Yeah, over here we got clubs in them casual POI where they usually land dirty dogs.
Yeah,
It looks like they weren't con, but I mean few trios nearby them which can become a problem. But I don't think there's anything soon to happen. I think they're just gonna get up their mats, get up their loot, and yeah, rotate. I mean, they have zones, so find themselves in a good position to get that storm surge tags in just in case we do see that storm surge.
Yeah, let's see exactly whether or not they will be able to get those tags. That's the thing about Dirty Dogs. Dirty Dogs just seems to be a serious problem over here, and whether or not they get a couple tags means that they always a bit behind everyone else. So let's see what happens with Gloves and them, whether or not they can keep the consistency over here.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, gloves and them have been landing dirty, so I'm sure they have some plan of getting some storm surge up. As we can see, like it does look like Ricey and them are in a fight here. They did run into that trio we were spectating earlier, and looks like they got them as a bounty as well. So Jinzu and them are in a predicament where they have to take this fight.
Does look like they will indeed, and it is looking very interesting right now. Ricey, Deimos, and Energy didn't look to go into endgame with, the best of gameplay. They did lose Ricey very early. We don't know exactly what happened further on there from the gameplay where, Energy and Deimos had to rotate as a duo, but it does look like they are leaving the trio, which potentially could have had the better hand at fighting this. I mean, this is Ricey and Energy as well in the team who are good fighters and mechanically gifted in that sense. They could have gone in for more damage and maybe even get a couple surge tags in any way possible. There is a llama for them, however, so a gift to be blessed over here, as we do see Ricey's HP is just not that perfect, or not HP but mat count.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like the llama does come in clutch, as they say. They should have enough mats, and I mean they are around sludgy swamp, so shield wise, I think they'll get up their shield like max shield before they leave sludgy, so I don't think that should be a problem. But yeah, like you said, the mats is the problem here, and looks like Ricey and them will rotate just to make sure they get a better position and get their mats up.
Yeah, which will be definitely crucial going forward for them. You do have Nyclo and them making some rotations in Kwani. They do got a bounty and are being bountied as well. So they need to play it cautious because the third party could easily lurk by if they take in a fight right there. So right now, making a rotation onto the hill of Orchard and Corny, which seems to be a good position where they can also get some tags. Shahil gets knocked in at the kill feed. And it does look like Nyclo and them, they're like a passive aggressive team right now. And anyone who's in their POV or line of sight, they want to W key.
Yeah, I think in this situation they saw that it might be a duo trying to reboot, so that's why they might be chasing. And I mean, it can always be like a good thing or a bad thing. It might be a whole trio, and they're gonna have to take this fight. They do beam the players, and they do get cracked as well. So
A knock. And a person using the launch pad trying to get out of the situation. CK trying to connect as much shots as possible, but doesn't look too good for them. He uses a launch pad to get out of the situation, and I'm comfortable and happy to see him do this because this is CK we're talking about, one of the best fighters in the region of South Africa. Let's see exactly if he's able to get this final kill, but he's now going out of his way into, the rotation of potential third parties, etc. over here. So CK very much alone in this one and very separated from the team. Let's see exactly what happens. He is chasing, and we do also see the zombie sort of tycoon open up over there. So there's players definitely around.
so yeah, CK needs to just be careful if he does want to take this fight and kill the enemy. He needs to do it quick because that team that just opened the zombie is gonna look to if they spot him as a solo, they are gonna like look to kill him.
Damaging the car, very proper way of doing this one, but he may potentially just jump into the next one. deals himself damage, does not care exactly what's happening over here and what's at stake. But it does now look like third parties are coming around, and he is very low. Uses the launch pad, which could have been used for the mobility, and this is exactly what we were afraid of. Is wasting the ammunition, etc., as well as the utilities that they do have present. He's now going to be going into the end games as a solo over here. Not as a solo, just quite detrimental on mats, etc.
Yeah, like he was king a solo, and I mean, like it's the right thing to do, but you got to stick together as a trio. When you're looking for those kills, even if it's like a 1v1, like you never like unless you're 100% sure you've heard the other opponent's like weapons, like pumps. Maybe he has a gold spaz, and you never know that, and you could get one pump. So yeah, he did disengage that fight, and just stick with his trio and play for that end game.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see exactly what happens over here. And good tags from Travis rejects and the Cub. However, Travis may be sitting behind to get some couple minis in, as well as hopefully a big pot from the Cub. Doesn't look like they do have that in the back pocket. But a team here also questionable on how their mats are looking like. 64 metal, 24 brick, 350 wood. A kill and elimination over here will mean so much to this team.
Yeah, I think that's the main reason they're going in for the fight, because they need that refresh. They need a nice refresh to get their mats up, get their shield up, everything they need. I mean, possibly they can get in front of them by eliminating this team.
Yeah, definitely. And whether or not they comes out successful means exactly that, because a lot of utilities and mats is still being used in those situations, trying to box up, using their minis, etc. For him, luckily, he did find a set of 3 on the roof over there, but they need this. They definitely need the refresh of materials going into the end game. As Topper, you would imagine he would need a lot more mats on hand, and they getting tagged up. They do have the advantage in terms of damage being dealt to the opposition that is present in their way right now.
Yeah, definitely. Just keeping the pressure on the opponent and spraying as much as they can, getting that little damage off on every single player they can, and getting himself that advantage in the fight.
Let's see what happens here. Do look at the kill feed, the Cov clutching up, knowing him, he can do wonders in the box. 2 players down, 1 more to go. These are materials for Travis, and if you look at that now, max metal, 202 brick. Let's see exactly what happens with him.
Yeah, I think they're just gonna look for that extra mats laying around, and if they can't find a player that was part of that trio, they'll probably look for him until they can, and then rotate to the next zone.
Yeah. Let's see exactly what happens, but the one player is still in the zone, and the zone is going to be rotating now into a smaller position. 64 players remaining. We go over to Ricey, Demos, and Energy just to see exactly how their positions are being played out, and you can see their positions right now are not really looking too good, as Ricey's taking up the damage here by the fire, and he's going down by the second now on 24 HP, and just managing to get out of that top position over there. We're using so many mats as well, and it does look like Energy tagged up all the way to what seems to be about less than 20 HP. Let's see exactly how they can survive this one. The mat count as well is just not there. And you look at his AR and you're just like, oof, man, an AUG is going to be so troublesome for you.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like especially with orgs, it's about storm surge. Like with when you have an org, that's your ideal weapon you want to get your storm surge up. But when it comes to close range fights, I don't think that's like the best AR to have in your inventory, eh?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, let's see what happens with going into endgame. I mean, Ricey has a blue shotgun. He can potentially deal the damage over there. Over here onto Vibes, we do see a lever action shotgun, a AR, as well as an SMG, some couple chug splashes, and 6 minis, a launch pad. They literally have the entire kit going into the final area of the games that we have right now. 62 players still remaining. Vibes and them also sitting on 2 kills, so definitely happy with that one. Going into endgame, we want to balance those placements as well as eliminations on board.
Yeah, definitely. You mentioned Vibes carrying that charge shotgun. I mean, not charge, the
The
lever
lever.
action.
Yeah,
And he's got that nuts and bolts to create that action, the charge shotgun. So I don't know if he's not aware of him having it, but I think, or he might just prefer the lever over the charge. But yeah, I mean, if he prefers it, we'll have to wait and see what he does with this lever at endgame.
yeah. Let's see exactly what he can. The charge would have been so much more better, like you mentioned. Charging it a bit and hitting from a distance deals like over 100 damage either way. So when you're going into that end game aspects, you want to be in a good position of clutching up and so forth. And a lever action just doesn't do it. It's more like a tickling gun, deals the less damage over there.
I mean, and the other cool thing he could be having is the most rarest gun you could find in the game, like at the moment, a golden charge. So, I mean, that's a good gun to run around with. I mean, I don't know if you knew that, but yeah, a golden charge is the most rarest gun you can find in the game. So, yeah.
Crazy, yeah. I mean, most players tend to, either get a gold spaz or a blue pump or purple spaz. Like you see over there, he has the ability to go to charge, but he doesn't choose for it. I guess it comes down to preference as well, especially on
Yeah.
controller. Sometimes that gun is just not worthy. Like you charge your weapon and then you ready to fire and it just nothing happens, and that tends to be that it's also due to our ping.
Yeah, definitely. Ping plays a big like role when it comes to that.
Gloves getting an elimination over here. Rackets jumping straight into the box. Ace looking to follow up as well.
Definitely, they got that knock on the play, so they literally have that advantage on this trio. So they're gonna want to like W key this trio as quick as possible because we will be seeing zone close in.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, it's CK, Spooky, and Nyclo in this position over here, guys. So Gloves and them definitely going out of their way to make sure that they deal the damage over here. Launchpad being used and utilized, or even maybe the tunnel that we have over here of pathway. Good beams and Pepper 7 going down to the hands of Gloves. He is definitely going to go in for that kill and refresh over here that we are seeing right now. Not that much much of max, but all good. And I can tell you, Luca has gone down. You just know a locked player in this early has to be Luca.
I mean, yeah, I don't know what to say. But yeah, he does go down. I mean, he could have gotten a reboot card. There's not really much. There's not a place that he can reboot. But you never know when like with moving zones. Like I think I saw it once where one of the NAE's trios rebooted in the last moving zone. So it's never
Yeah.
impossible.
It is never impossible. There's always that little lost moment. It's like playing FIFA. You play until the referee whistles offside or whatever the case may be. And now we see Temperat in a 50-50 position with Rice Ripsy and Swish. Almost called Ripsy Ricey.
I mean the R and R makes you can confuse a lot of people. So it's nothing new.
Yeah. What do you think about the position? Do you think they get the first moving? Uh, do you
Yeah, they on the edge. They have a very good chance. We'll have to see where like the zone pulls. Like when it comes to these zones, like there's a tendency of it pulling over, like just pulling over the water, and people can use the water to swim up or down the river. So we'll see what does happen here. If it does pull like towards the ends of the river, as you can see, like the river does it nice, like it splits the circle in half. So it has a tendency to pull left, like up the river or down the river. So like I said, we'll see what happens from here.
Yeah, well, in 40 seconds, we'll know exactly when they get to play in the zones or not. But it is also looking clustered over there, as a lot of players are ramping above them and they do have their heighted positions. So even if they do get that first moving zone, they can't really even position themselves on a heighted position in the game number 2 that we have on board over here.
Yeah, definitely. They're just looking for those storm surge tags because they didn't have enough last time, and just looking for tags. Yeah, it's the most important thing when you're sitting in a position you're already in that next zone. Just look for those like extra tags and get your storm surge up.
Let's see exactly what happens. But now we got that zone sort of coming into play, and it is going to be quite close to them. So very successful in terms of making the rotations into that one, and we will definitely be seeing that come into play right now. Ryder, Mike, Sticks, and Vibe still alive in this one. Also do have the rotation in play with the launch pad for that first moving, which could put them in a good position over here. They are going to be setting up their launch pad to sort of go over and into the next moving zone. A high jump of play will rarely work out. Going over to Travis, the Cov, and Rejects right here. They're going to be looking to potentially move in on zone very early to try get those early rotations into the next closing zone.
Yeah, they're spending that match just to get ahead, and possibly, as we can see, they're going for high early on. But will it last? We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it. They will. Travis trying to jump in for this. The Cov going down. He does ramp up. Gets a. He can't even go in for the finish and try get the refresh on Mats because he doesn't have that much at hand over here.
Yeah, it looks like they do. He just wants to keep height from here, and height gets you kills. That's what they say, and height wins you games. So yeah, like the saying goes, height wins you games, low ground wins you tourneys.
Well, I feel if we had to go statistically, height always wins a tourney. Like just
Yeah,
in general.
like if you know how to play that low ground, like for a few seasons, like people were like dominantly playing that low ground, knowing, like for example, like when Bojan and them like played a
Yeah,
lot. I know they mainly focus on that low ground, and I mean it worked for them. Like if you know how to play it, you know when to just claim the whole low ground and stay ahead, and get enough points, you can win tourneys.
definitely. Travis and the Reject still alive in this one, still playing to the very end, which looks to be good for them. But let's go over on board with Vibes, who seems to be already eliminated very early on. Very unfortunate for them right over there. So we go over to Tim and Reepsy to see exactly what happens over there, how things are playing out. The entire trio is alive right here. One elimination, 26 plays remaining, so still so much placement points to be made over here. Scotty's AR out, the player has no mats, they get that knock, so this just counts more kill points to the player. There is a shadow that they can play with. Go to maybe the top of the map right now? Who knows? Two shadows? I mean, pull out the warrior strat right here and get the eliminations in the end, because it all comes down to placements. George, unfortunately, finding himself in a predicament where he's going to get in a tough position. Chili Chugs, which could potentially then help out the entire team. Sue or Swish looking to heal up quite a bit so that Chug can work out in their favor. 195 mats here available for Reepsy. Let's see what happens. And it does look like the zone sort of favors them in a way. They pulls back, but not really. It is going to be pulling towards that right side. They drop a player down over here. They get that elimination, and it's now looking good for this team. Like you mentioned, low ground wins tourneys. It does look like they control that in their favor. The consistency of their gameplay means that they could potentially walk out with the victory royale. Reepsy finding himself in a weird one as he almost gets eliminated over there, but the players are around, they are present, and look who just comes out from about is an anonymous player, so we won't know exactly what happens over there. But Swish taking a lot of damage right now, healing up in the zone with a flopper, needs to try find himself into the next zone over here, and he can't get this elimination, but no, a pump to the head, and it doesn't do the damage. Three players are remaining right now, or three teams are remaining right now, so let's see exactly what happens, whether or not they will be able to go into the next sort of form of rotations. Does look like he's building quite crazy for him. Did he win the game? Yeah, I think
Yeah, they did win the
I
game.
didn't see that. I actually
And
did
it
not
might
see
be
that.
COD. It might be COD in them again. So we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, it might be. We'll look at that leaderboard. But for Reapsy, they controlled that very well. They were just in a tough position over there where the terrain was not in their favor and they just couldn't really get out that position.
Yeah, definitely. Like the zone pull up the mountain and they took all that damage and didn't like prepare for that mountain. I think it's just like how the zone moves, like especially mountain zones. Everyone loves mountain zones, said no
Yeah,
one.
no one said no one. Well, guys, we'll be back for game number 2, so don't go anywhere. Game number 3 actually. We're already halfway done with the tournament over here, guys, and we'll be looking at that leaderboard, talking about the kills, the victories, who got it, and so forth. So make sure you guys don't go anywhere. We'd like to see you guys predicting right now who won that game.
What we do here is go back.
Hey guys, and welcome back to the gameplay over here. And we will be looking at that leaderboard right now. And I can tell you it's looking very much close in terms of points. And consistency from a certain team has been absolutely crazy. Let's go through that leaderboard, however, and talk about it. So, Cardstery and Latte win back-to-back wins over here, but not really the most eliminations going into game number 2, only 3. So a lot of passiveness that we are witnessing, Ruan over here. Very crazy to see that.
Yeah, definitely. They're getting low elims, but they're getting that max placement points. So I think they would take that as a win in their books. But because I mean they are almost 10 points ahead of second place, which is Travis Rejects and Dekov. And I mean the complete opposite. They got 16 elims in that last game, so they're going for the elims. Looks like it.
Yeah, definitely. They're going in all hot and juicy. Reapsy, Swish, and Tem in third. Really consistent gameplay. I mean, if you look at that top 4 placement right now, and Ginger making a comeback in points as well over there, they can easily make their way up onto the leaderboard. It's going to be very simple for them to do so. So let's see exactly what will be happening going forward for them and how things would really start to look like. But we'll go over to the players over here to see exactly what will be happening. And Woke landing at the. I actually forgot they changed their spot.
Yeah, they do land Misty. I mean, it's a good POI. It's a POI with, like I said, I think it's got second most chase in the game. So
Mm.
like finding your loot, which you need, like that's the main priority. Like you want to find as the best loot you possibly can. And having like the second most chest spawns in the game isn't that bad at all.
Isn't, and we will get to witness the gameplay with them going into the war towards the end. It's going to be very interesting to see how things sort of play out for them. But we go over to Ricey, maybe just in hopes that we get to witness some of their gameplay. And
Yeah, we did see them fight uh, a team on the edge of sludgy. So will we see that again this time around? We'll have to wait and see.
well, we'll wait and see indeed. But for now, Ricey's POV is not available, and they were actually fighting the players Genzu and them, so which we're actually spectating right now. So yeah, Genzu, Baz, and Mohamed Zede, like you mentioned, new players that we really haven't gotten to hear from. I personally, this is my first time getting to see them in a finals of NiBBLE and also competing over here. So it's good. You know, these are 3 new players that nobody really knows of. Nobody knows until today, where they come into this tournament to sort of do something, and hopefully we get to see a little pop off, even if it matters in just a single game.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like you said, new players, new blood. You don't know what they're capable of, but we'll see what happens as they like. The more we see of them, we'll get used to like seeing how they play, their play style, where they drop. Like, do they stick to one drop? Do they take fights? Stuff like that. We'll see over time as we progress.
Yeah, definitely. Well, let's see exactly what goes into play for them, how things manage to work out. Ooh, good sort of vending machine over there, blue pump. So they happy with that one. And there goes the bounty that, they've been targeted, and it most potentially will be coming off from Ricey and them. But unfortunately, Rice is still not showing his POV. We won't be able to jump on board with them just yet. But still, on to Gensu just to see exactly what can potentially go in their favor. We can go over to Joshi as well. And Joshi taking up the fights right now. Two of their players down. Exility on literally 1 HP, but he does knock one player and he heals up quite a bit. But will this be enough for him going into the games? Unfortunately, it isn't gonna be. Has KU and his teams, KU, E-Tech, and Paris,
Smiley and
Smiley
no, KU, Smiley and Alters.
and Alters
So
coming
yeah,
in with that kill over there. So they just kill the players at Weeping Wood. So that's going to be interesting for them. Let's go jump on board with Tem and them. The team that could potentially be walking out with a total win, but it's still far from over. I mean, game just ended. Game number 2 just ended. Game 3 is underway. Game 4 is still yet to come. Game 5 is still yet to come as well. So let's see exactly what happens.
yeah. Switch from the last time I heard he switched from KBM to controller. So this is possibly the first tourney we see Switch going on controller. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, it's a good thing to see. Like people always switch inputs from keyboard and mouse to controller and vice versa. But yeah, Switch predominantly like dominating used to dominate a lot on keyboard and mouse, making the switch to controller. I mean, he's even put it in his name to make sure people know he's on controller.
Definitely, yeah. Let's see exactly what happens with that. I mean, it has to be the alpha input, I have to say, because when it comes down to aim assist, nothing has broken has that. But with the recent patch or whatever update happened, like there has been some glitches where aim assist is 0. Hopefully they fix that. I'm not sure if you've gotten any information on that.
Yeah, I've seen it around, and yeah, it's especially when it break. Like if it's broken, it's it's like you can't do much. Like people will complain about anything that like shouldn't be in the game, and I think like when something is broken, like Epic does fix it as soon as they do find out about it.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see exactly what happens over here right now as Seek and them do find the next opposition that they want to be. Ooh! And a beam through the bush as he makes the run over there. They try find exactly where he's located, and he does make himself aware, but he needs to watch out as his head is going to get chopped off with those bullets flying by. Getting a beautiful haircut, however.
Yeah, getting he's the opponents are doing damage, and they're doing a damage to the opponent. So they just at this point it's mostly trading damage. So we'll see if they do like full on cycle one solo and just get the elim.
Yeah, and that would be mad. And trying to cycle one of the players, however, CK is just not going to be in that position of, get dealing the damage. In fact, he's been dealt damage to himself, almost 108 by the looks of it, but now healed up to 190. So back into a good position of might over here. And let's see exactly what CK will be doing in the position as he goes over to the or places. But right now, also so far so good. They've done some damage, but they haven't done too much. Let's see exactly what will be happening.
Yeah, they're taking this fight very like passive because it looks like there was a third party around. So they don't just want to commit to the fight and just like spend all their mats and possibly rotate out. So they're taking it very slow and making sure they have like the advantage on the fight before taking it. So we'll see what they do here. Like as you can see, he keeps on getting CK keeps on getting tagged from other opponents, and yeah, they're just playing very slow.
Yeah. Anytime now, though, we could expect, the fight to happen. They're still playing it out very much safe right here, and this could be kind of tough for them. Let's see exactly what will be going into play, however. They go in, they try get a different angle beam, they get the cone over there. So now you can see the damage come out from CK. CK doing the most over here. But we do apologize, guys, for the quality that we are getting out from the players. This is the best we can. Keep in mind that we are on Discord over here, guys. So this is literally the best we can get from you guys. Now deals that beautiful charge shotgun onto the player. And we can't exactly see who they're fighting right here. Do you have any clue who they could potentially be?
It could be a few. It could be Gloves and them. It could be Ginger Crispy and Jamie. It could be, I don't know if Buzzy's playing today because Buzzy and them land Orchard and above that. But
Oh, it's
no, it's
Torbs.
Torbs. It
Ooh,
is
okay.
Torbs who gets eliminated.
Yeah, GG's to them. They did put up a fight though, because for Torbs to stay alive for that long is very, very interesting. But they do so successfully. So let's see exactly how that looks like going in favor for them in the next sort of rounds over here. And now on to Travis, and them still very much far in zone, so we won't really spectate them. See exactly what happens going into the next sort of gameplays. Over here for Woke, Neymar, and Scarra, still making a decent amount of rotation as well.
Yeah, they got that launch pad. They got their harpoon. I think they set on loot when it comes to mats as well. They just need to get up the wood and stuff. Like, but other than that, they should be fine going into endgame. I mean, they had two uh, average games, I would call it. Like, not great, but they average. But this third game, fourth game, and fifth game, they should pick up the pace a bit, I would say.
Yeah, and that would be really interesting to see exactly what's happening over there. So going over to Vibes, Mike Sticks, and Ryder right over here. Let's see exactly what's happening. Just setting up camp, setting up base, and it does look to be like in a good position, but very close to CK and them's last known fight. So if CK do see this both base that they have right now, they will get doubly keyed. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah, they're looking for those elims around Corny, and they know exactly who lands around Corny. So if if they feel like this is a team they can easily take on and fight and get a quick elim on, they will do that.
They will indeed. But now Vibes, Ryder, and Mike Sticks as well just haven't had their spark, their moment, their pop off. They've somewhat been consistent, but not to the extent where you would have hoped for them to do so. I mean, if you look at the leaderboard and see exactly where they positioned, they are 12th right now with only 18 points, but they can easily get into the top 5 maybe if they do well this game, which seems to be not an easy task doing so, especially here in the NiBBLE Week 16 finals.
Yeah, I mean, to week 16. If you if you just like listen to that, it's been 16 weeks of NiBBLE. That's crazy. So yeah, like, and there's so many like winners. We've seen Travis and them win. We've seen Travis and Neymar like together. We've seen Travis and Rejects and Dake the new trio win. Like, it's actually insane how long this series has been going, and it's
Yeah,
only getting better.
definitely. It has changed a lot in terms of, a team going into any tournament or any NiBBLE finals would have been like to win would have been like Neymar, Travis, and Woke, right? And then
Yeah,
as well as that serious competition between Reapsy and Neymar and Travis and them and so forth was the real, first, and then Reapsy would win or Reapsy would come second, and that competition was alive and it kept going for some time until Travis eventually had left that trio. And then even for Reapsy more so, things haven't been looking too great for them. They haven't won a NiBBLE since that time, and they've also switched up quite a bit. You know, they were with Rejects, and then they were with the Lex, and then they now with Swish. So really, it's that the team has changed. I mean, in fact, it was Crispy, Rejects, and then Crispy became Tam, and then Rejects became the Lex, and then the Lex became Jamie for a small amount of time, and now Jamie became Swish. I wonder if this will be like the final trio going into everything.
I highly doubt it. Like cheers always change. Like you just said, like cheers, like all these cheers who've been winning. Although they're winning, they still change. Like it's still somehow things change all the time. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what does happen when it comes to this show. I mean, if they do good today, it's a very good way to start as a trio, winning a NiBBLE, and keeping it up like that is going to be the question we all ask. Actually, at the end of the day, can they just keep it up? If Reapsy, Swish, and Tem does win this NiBBLE series or this week.
Definitely. I mean, at this point in day and age right now, we do have, the teams going into their very final trio moments as well here in South Africa. I mean, who knows? Maybe Trio Arena still remains in the game, and we get to have like one or two tournaments next year. But duos it is, and potentially duo NiBBLE series as well. Maybe that comes in even sooner because the people want to get on top of the trend. They get demanding of those modes, etc., that Fortnite love to announce. So yeah, some of these guys are having their final trio moment in the NiBBLE series week 16.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, duos is like it's a very good game mode. Like you can, like I said, you can we like if when duos do like a lot of more tourneys duos, we we're gonna see a lot more clutches, like solo players like dying of spawn, not getting the reboot card, stuff like that, and then we see them clutch win the game with the 1 HP, things like that. That's what makes duos so good. But is it gonna be as stacked as trios? We'll have to wait and see.
Now, the thing about duos is that there's less place on the map. If, however, they've changed the map going into the next season, maybe a larger map, because let's be honest, like solos and duos becomes too populated at off spawn situations, and therefore fights do tend to happen, and you can't get like 20 players eliminated off spawn, and there you left with 80 already. And then going into endgame as well, just there's not that much room for everyone. So yeah, I don't see it being more stacked, but I see it being more entertaining because of those clutch moments that we could potentially get. 1v2 is much, much easier than a 1v3. And Neymar does 1v3s. The Cov does. Everyone we've seen in the game has done somewhat at 1v3 in the past, but the consistency in 1v2s will definitely be happening.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, duos, you can easily 2v1 or 1v2 and win the game at the end. And when it comes to trios, it's a little bit harder. Hey, like you said, like you don't see a lot of those happening all the time. So yeah, duos is going to be interesting game mode when it does get introduced into more ZA tourneys.
Yeah, well, let's see exactly what will be happening over there. And then, the likes of the multi sort of um open league, contender league, champions league, whatever areas sort of having their own tournaments. I mean, that's going to be interesting as well.
Yeah,
The
those
daily cash
yeah,
cups.
yeah, those cups are going to be interesting. We're going to see if people decide would they rather just not grind as much and place high in those like I would say lower like skill. Yeah, you could say
I mean,
skill gap.
personally, I will because I am not a grinder and I just don't play this game competitively. But an
Yeah.
open league tournament for me, I feel like, hey, there's my $3, man.
Yeah, obviously the prize pool is going to be low when it comes to Middle East. It's going to
Yeah,
be extremely low
I,
compared to the higher. I think the higher gap. It might even be for skins. You never know. Like it might even just
true.
like an open league tournament for a skin. And
Yeah, true,
I
true,
mean, a
true.
lot of people would still play in those.
Yeah, and yeah, for me personally, as a tournament organizer and in the growth of esports in ZA, the daily cash cups and additional tournaments that Fortnite is introducing, it becomes questionable on how it affects third-party hosts like myself, ACGL, Middle State, when it comes to Fortnite. Because if there's a tournament almost every single day, when do you host qualifiers, semifinals, etc.?
Yeah, it's a tough predicament that Fortnite places third party hosts in, and I mean, I'm sure like with those things coming into place, there will be some kind of plan that's also being put into place. So I don't think it's gonna have a massive effect. Yes, during the week it's gonna be like tourneys after tourneys from Fortnite because it's gonna be contenders, open cash cup, things like that. It's gonna like even the daily cups are going to be stacked and like a lot of players are going to be playing in those, so we'll see what does come into effect when we do come to that time.
Yeah, well, let's see exactly what happens. But right here, a little bit of 50 players remaining type of situation going into that fourth zone. Ace being eliminated over here in the Clubs and Luca trio. Just not what you want from the team, but at the end of the day, this is a new team. Anything is expected from them. So if they aren't able to secure themselves any points whatsoever, then you guys know exactly why. But let's go jump on board with Travis because they got 16 eliminations last time around. They got 10 in game number one. It doesn't look like Travis, Decov, and Rejects are here to give up on the oppositions. And let's see exactly what will be happening.
Yeah, they are like playing very aggressive. As we can see, they were like putting a team under pressure and trying to get an elim if they can, but looks like they're just going to heal up, go in and wait and try and get maybe a few kills going into endgame.
Yeah, well, in the position that they do currently lie in, that is exactly what they kind of need, right? They need to be more passive in terms of where they go because a win and potential kills is just much more worthy. Where fourth place in 16 eliminations, yes, they cover up for those placement points, but they could have gotten double points if they had won the game because there was just that much points between them and a victory royale.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we're going into like first moving zone with 48 people in the third game. That's actually insane to watch, like especially in the third game. Like that's crazy. Like, and they still going for kills, trying to get as much kills as they can. So yeah,
Well, let's see exactly what will be happening. Nice tags, however, coming out from the team. 817 damage that has been played over here. They're going in for the launch pad, and you get to see that right now. High above they go, and it does look like they're going to land on height over here and just use previous builds. The beam comes down onto the players who still try to be on height, but oh, look what was happening over here. A contest, and we don't, and it is swishing them. I had a feeling it was swishing them. So Swish gets eliminated right now. A short launch gets played out by Travis here as well into the playing fields right there. And let's go see whether or not Tem and them can keep up the consistency as a duo because things are not looking good. They're using the same launch pads, strats, as you just saw Travis with Reapsy getting into a good layer right now. Temperat following in behind, and now they need to sort of clutch up because there's only 41 players remaining on the map right there. 655, 7 damage above the threshold. They need to get as much as they can right now. And if you look over here at Vibes and Mike Sticks and Ryder, Mike Sticks, however, finding himself being eliminated on the rotation is just not a good sign for them. 30 players remaining. Vibes gets hit so hard, down to 7 HP, and he is stuck in between a tree. Hopefully he's able to continue those rotations. Only about 50 builds remaining, so that is going to be tough on them. They still have the ability to heal up quite a bit, so let's see exactly what happens over there. But right over here, right now, is Baz and them, which are eliminated. I do say so. But we go over to Smiley, who no mats and a dream will just get eliminated over there. Go see whether or not Travis and them still remain alive in this one right now. But intense situations, as they are alive.
Yeah, they're on height, and they should be getting like last time we look at them, they had only 3 elims. They're already on 8 elims. Like having height, it gets you those kills. Like, and that's exactly why people love going for it. Like when you get that height, you can just spray down, look for kills, look for picks, and get everything you need. Like get those elim points up, and possibly also win the game.
Definitely. I mean, at this point, with so many mats still remaining, especially being hard mats, they are looking to win this one. Rejects goes down below. Sterry gets knocked over here, so it doesn't look like they will be getting the three back-to-back wins over there. Sterry, the entire trio gets eliminated. Rejects doing the work, doing the bits. They go up to 13, and now there's just 2 players remaining. And it's Rejects trying to do the wonders in the boxes. And let's see exactly if they get the win. They do. But with how many eliminations do they win this game at?
I think it was like 12 or 13, or even maybe like 15 like kills, but they did get like a high amount.
Oh, yeah. So
16 kills. Like
16 eliminations just in that very dying moment. And that's going to change the leaderboard 100%, guys. So depending on who came second for Reaps, and then we have to actually see exactly what happens, going into that final situation. Though there were only 2 of them, as Swish did get eliminated very early. So that was very tough on them on the rotations. But guys, do not worry, as we'll be back for game number 4, if I'm not mistaken. So there's still so much to unravel, so much to look at, so many theories and possibilities that could potentially be going into play. We'll be right back.
What we do here is go back, 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 back.
Okay, guys, we are back with the gameplay. We're back at looking at the leaderboards, and woo, things have changed. Things have changed. Ruan, walk us through the entire leaderboard right now as it stands.
Yeah, I mean, we see GGX FA coming in with that 41 points. That's insane. They were going for that kills at the end game, like we saw, winning, getting the victory royale in game number 3, and yeah, I mean, sitting like in a comfortable position, 10 points ahead of just second place, like which is Card, Seri, and Latte. I mean, they won back-to-back games, and then we saw them getting elimed in that last game by Travis, Rejects, and Dequab. So yeah, we will see what does happen going into like the third game, and then we obviously have Crispy, Ginger, and Jamie playing very consistently. I mean, something they've been doing for a while now, and making sure they are in that top 3, top 4, like teams when it comes to trios. And then obviously in fourth we do have Reepsy, Tem, and Swish, the newly like addition to the trio being Swish, and it looks like they are getting settled in very nicely and playing very good together. So yeah, they in fourth, and then yeah, from there we see Aviva and them, like they're holding that top 5. They very close to like uh dropping out of the top 5, but I mean they're holding it, and I'm sure they'll be happy if today they can get that top 5.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's been crazy in terms of the situations we've been witnessing. I mean, when Travis went in for that hike play, he went in and he took an opportunity that was actually meant for Reepsy. So we saw a switch going down quite early, and then it was Reepsy and Tem who had to make the rotations as a duo, and they managed to get 19 points, which is not too bad at all. But this is exactly what they're competing for, guys. At a chance at winning 2,000 rand, which will be split first place 1,400, and then second place will be 600 rand. So it's gonna be scary to see exactly who will be walking out with the gameplays over there. I mean, as it stands right now, Travis is showing a lot more consistency. Game 1, 19 points. Game 2 was 30. And then game 3 was 41. So it's just keep on going higher. But I don't think you can go higher from here, right? Because they got in a Vic Roy. They got in 16 eliminations as well in that one. So going higher means just more elims, means more consistency for them, which is quite hard to bring off.
Yeah, definitely. Like high elims and like getting the victory royale. That's like the perfect scenario for them. They got they got enough points, just edge them ahead of second place. But we'll see what happens in game number 4, and if they can just keep up that high elim games they've been showing us today.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see exactly if they're able to do that. We go jump on board, guys, with Smiley and them to see exactly what the off-spawn situations will be looking like for them. So let's go and see and jump on board with the gameplay. Game number 1. It is going to be interesting. This is the second last game of the evening, guys. So if you're looking to see who wins the tournament, this is possibly gonna be whoever wins this game in that top 3 could potentially just win the tournament, depending if any of them is inconsistent in some way possible. Like if Travis dies mid game and Ginger wins this game, then I think we have a winner.
Yeah, definitely. It's about whoever, like, you need to be consistent, like throughout any tournament. It's about consistency wins you like the whole tourney. Like you can't, like, unless you have some high elim games, like 40-point games, like bunch of them, like two of them, maybe you have a better chance of winning. But yeah, it's mostly about consistency, and yeah, so we'll see what does happen here. It looks like they're all going like Whipping Woods. We saw them fight Exility earlier and Whipping Woods, so we'll see if they do get contested by the same trio again.
Yeah, well, the Exility and them definitely were not happy about how things turned out for them, but I don't think they will even be contesting Weeping. So it does look like Smiley and them will be um uncontested, and maybe for Exility, very much unhappy, right? Because they went their game one. It did look like it was uncontested for them. But game two, they finding themselves being eliminated continuously, time in and time out. So at some point, unhappiness starts to settle in and things don't really look too good for them right now. So we see here Voxy and them in this
He's breaking
position.
glass.
Oh, let me
Looks
just
like
get.
they're
He's
all
very.
contested
Mm-hmm.
in retail row. Looks like it might be a I don't know. We'll see what happens here.
Okay.
Could it could be a quick fight. It could
Shotgun.
be like a long fight. But he doesn't
Pink,
have
Spaniel
shield,
blue.
so he's gonna need to get the elim. Never
Intermission
mind.
outside.
He does get knocked.
Yep, gets knocked over there.
Sonic, we don't fight this, bro.
By Vagrant.
Vagrant and
Oh my
Cosmic
God.
subs in this position where they could potentially get eliminated. Sonics and them trying to disengage as much as possible. He has the mats to also box up,
We don't
like
fight
subs
that.
in this position,
Oh
just
my
box
God.
up and
These guys
heal
are
up.
psychotic.
He has the med kits as well as the
These guys are
minis to
stupid
do
psychotic.
so. So why doesn't he just do that here?
I think he's just trying to get distance.
Sonic's
The
very
one
good.
thing you
Oh
want
my
to
God,
do
he's
when it's a 2v3, you just want to disengage, get some distance between you and the other trio, and yeah, like
Are you?
maybe find a different loot pod. But that doesn't happen. He gets knocked, and they do get chased, and yeah, that's their game. That's a wrap.
That is a wrap indeed, and now they gotta sit in the lobbies and let's see exactly what will be happening for them going forward. But it doesn't look like the gameplay was expected for them. I mean, at this point, like things just didn't look too well for them on terms of how things were going forward. But let's see exactly what they can do right now because there's only one more game left and hope to see them in the very last one trying their hearts and minds out. But for Tem and them, seems the loadout is in their favor. The RNG is screaming at them. I mean, purple orc, blue shotgun, off spawn. That's fantastic.
Yeah, definitely. Like you always want to get your desired loot from your POI, and I mean, there's a reason they land here. They get the loot they want, and they need or as much as they can, so that they can play for that like late game and like get as much points as possible. And even if they need to, they can get like a few elims along the way.
Mm, definitely. Let's see what happens over there. But now, Bony Burbs, they had a situation where they were trying Steamy Stacks. That didn't last too long. I think it was an entire weekend for them to decide whether they will land there or not. But it just in general, the entire weekend that they did land Steamy, all the zones was in Bony, and I kid you not.
Yeah, that's the problem with like POI like Steamy. Like the edge, the way it's so
Oh,
edged on like the map, you're gonna find those games. Most of the games, let's say most of the games, will be away from Steamy. Like you don't always see zones pull Steamy. So yeah, I think that's the main priority. They wanted to see if like they would get some zones in Steamy, but yeah, like you said, Boney is center map. You got a bigger chance of getting that first, second moving or first, second zones, and just like playing around and getting your storm surge up and like getting elims, even if you do need to get people who's rotating through the map.
well, let's see exactly what goes into play for them. But 76 players who like to see NiBBLE series, 81 players going into the very last game. So not
Into
last
the
game,
fourth
second
game.
last game. Yeah, fourth game over here. So that is really good out from the Fortnite competitive season. From them, so let's see exactly what the plays will be looking like for how things turn out to be. But we go over to Rejects, Travis, and them very passive rotations right now, entering Rito Row, which seems to be the place where Vagrant and the other places are located at.
Yeah, they're rotating through here, trying to find the players that are yeah looking to just make sure. Like I don't know if you remember, but like a few seasons ago with the whole caddy situation, you remember when they used to have lazy caddy and what's this Rito Row on con? Like
Yeah,
that was crazy when 3Jx woke and I think it was Skara, yeah, Skara rejects and work. They had this whole place uncontested.
yeah,
Haven't seen this happen at all this season.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like there's people around and it's good. There's people growing their skill and the skill gap is thinning quite a bit between some players. Like, you can find sometimes, players just not making the rotations or even the gameplay successful for them. So yeah, rejects and Travis and the Cov is definitely best players in South Africa and Africa itself. But from time to time, you'll find them get eliminated off spawn on the rotations because of mistakes that they make and so forth. But going over to Smiley, we see KU has been knocked. So let's see what KU and them need to do over here. So yeah, Vogue Dan getting in the little take the L dance on them.
Yeah, obviously, yeah, the game added like the game. That's the one great thing about the game. They added like emotes are the thing that people like express themselves when they do elim like opponents. And I mean, Take the L's been there since the very start of Fortnite, and it's been that iconic toxic emote everyone uses just to get into the mind of your opponents. Like, I think it's probably like one of those emotes. Once someone does it on you, you just want to DM them.
Ooh, yeah, this could be potentially be Reaps and them taking a fight, but a third party coming out from name on them. As we see Red Pepper's movement sort of in play over there, that has to be Reapsy.
Yeah, definitely. Like they're in the same vicinity as Reapsy and them, and it could be possibly them fighting each other.
Yeah, let's just go jump on board with Temp quickly to see whether or not. And ooh, does look like maybe it was because Reapsy and them is dead, but they, I don't know.
It might be Swish as a solo.
Yeah, definitely could be Swish as a solo in this situation. He's trying to disengage in this position. And the other oppositions as well. But Nemo and them are here to deal the wraith, deal the damage. Does look like they finally got the players to a stand hole, and now they can get the eliminations. Can't get the wall as well. And ooh, good damage head pump over there. Neymar can't get the finish over as well. But Woke does. He gets his confirmation as well as Siphon. So many materials to their name, so many launch pads as well. But there's other players around in the vicinity who are here, I think. No, it's just the single player that is left to be eliminated. But he launch pads away. It does look like he will potentially get away, but nope, he doesn't, as the players manage to find all the eliminations, and Neymar and them are sitting on 6 kills right now.
Yeah,
5.
definitely. I mean, they need that big impact game, like I said earlier, 1 or 2 games with 40 points, and yeah, that could help you a lot. So I think they're going for a lot of elims in this game. We're gonna have to wait and see we know they're gonna get big elims in this game. The question is how many. That's the main thing we'll be asking.
Yeah, I mean, when they start this good, it doesn't look like it will come to an end anytime soon. I feel like they will just keep on moving and keep on pushing to get some eliminations, etc. Talking about eliminations, I think I did see the Cub knock a player. Let's go jump aboard to see whether or not that is actually happening right now. And it does look to seem the case, as some players do get revived over here.
Yeah, a steamy like reboot is always like on the edge of zone, and like we do see like the zone pull towards steamy, and he does see a player running away, and it is Lucid getting eliminated.
Lucid, he had no time to react. Rejects just did the damage.
Yeah, he calls him the best org player, and I mean he just showed us what he can do with an org. I mean he does it
Oh,
again.
crazy aim coming out from Rejects over here. Managing to connect every single shot, body shot off the body shot. And now they're also sitting on 4 eliminations, and this is becoming a race between Neymar and Travis on who can potentially get the most eliminations going into the final round of game number 4. trying to scout out if there's any other players around.
Yeah, I think they're just scouting around looking for players, and yeah, if they do find someone like we just saw, they might just stubby key them. So we'll see what happens. Yeah.
Yeah, they've placed that launch pad. They have the ability to go in and take the damage, but Travis is still very much low on the HP. Hasn't found the medkit just yet. Chug splashes could be dropped here for Travis, maybe.
Yeah, definitely. Just to get up that white health of his would be crucial, and it would help a bit just to help get that how can I say the advantage in the fight. Having a full trio with full health is ideally the thing you want to have when you go into a fight.
Mm. Hopefully he does manage to heal up. I mean, there is potential campfires in and around the map, so they definitely safe for now. They're not even engaging in any combat, no box fight situation, so they can't really lose out on HP at this moment. And he does harpoon in a fish and then chug splashes once, so really good from that. Then they just focus on the next rotation, next circle, getting into that. But in 38 seconds, they'll maybe need to move yet again into the next zone. And as we talk about that, there's 52 players remaining, or 50 players remaining right now on the game number 4, and things are starting to look very tough, as you know, potential winners reaping them out of this one already, guys, and that may be a mistake onto the total winnings as well, because they were in the position where if they did really well, they could have won the tournament. But now with game number 4 out and dusted for them, they can only do so much going into the next round.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they needed to keep up that consistency throughout the whole tourney to win it. So, but like with the likes of like rejects and them like getting those high elims, I don't know. Like it's tough to get. Like you need to keep up with that play style then.
Just hoping to find their next opposition to slaughter over here to get eliminations. Couple plays being rebooted as well, so it's good to see some of these guys trying to make a redemption. We'll go over back to Vibes just to see how things are looking out for them, because we did see Vibes getting revived, but now we see him looking healthy, looking strong. He's got all of the materials needed for himself over there. Scara in the kill feed getting an elimination as well, so name on them picking up on kills, more so getting a good comeback for them. But there's so much that they can do in this very last moment. I don't see it actually, paying retrospect to their gameplay actually winning the tournament.
Yeah, they need to like they're very far behind on points, and when you do like need those points, the best way to get it is getting those elims. Like I mean, we're looking at name one of them sitting on cheese, like they're just going from yeah, they're just getting more points and more points as they go, and they know they have to get it by getting those elims, like I said. And I mean, one of the best fighting trios you probably can have is Neymar, Travis, Neymar, Woken, Scara. Like as we can see, they're just looking for the next victim to like fight, and they look back and they do see a trio that might be Ryder and Mike Sticks and Vibe. So we'll see how they take this. They will 100% play aggressive to get this point.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they're almost close to that double-digit eliminations as well. So these are some of the things people love to talk about: is winning games dramatically, winning, getting kills, and so forth. Because plus a 20 kill win can put them back to like third, fourth place, but it won't put them so high up that they can contest Travis for the win.
Yeah, definitely. Depending on how their game end, like as we see, like there's still 46 people alive, and I mean, 46 people alive, third zone, like that's crazy. That's actually crazy to see in your fourth game.
Yeah, it is. It is. And I'm loving that the competitive environment is of Fortnite is looking like this from time to time, because it just shows that, you know, players are learning, players are adapting, they're changing their gameplay, changing up how things are meant to be rotated and so forth. On the other hand, you get players like Travis and Rejects who just look to get eliminations and just keep on doing what they can do best.
Yeah, definitely. They're trying to cement their first place position by game 4, and I mean the way you do that is just making sure you get 4 very good games in, and then the 5th game you don't need to worry too much about, like, or the last game you don't need to worry too much about like how it plays out, because you're comfortable in that first place position where you know whoever second, third, fourth needs to get a very very good game.
Definitely. Let's see exactly what happens. They also could be in the fourth zone or fifth zone after this one, depending on whether or not they're in the right part of the zone they're currently sitting in right here. They got everything they need. They got launch pads, you know, the most AR ammo, and literally everything possible that they can have needed for a team. So let's see. We stay on board with this team to see if any other decisions out of the ordinary will be going into play. What do you think else could be happening with the team right now?
I mean, the only thing I would think is they run into Neymar, Scoron, Woke, and it will be a very good fight, a fight everyone would want to see. With all this stuff happening on Twitter and stuff like that, it would be interesting to watch.
Oh my, a triple head dink, and one of the players just go down, and he looks to his other side, and he just gets a focus on, and body shots are just there. Rejects really doing the damage, and if this was a surge game, they would 100% be in a happy position.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they've got those kills, they've got those damage up. I mean, I think they would have been easily 2,000 above, or even maybe like 2,500 above damage.
Right there, doing the most he can. And it does look like the Coven them are going to be going in for the W key right here. So let's see exactly what happens. He gets into the top. He chug splashes. He's trying to get the cones, trying to get further into the enemy base where they can potentially find their 4th or 7th elimination. There we go. And it's Milky. The Cove tagged up, needing to heal up a bit. Does have everything he needs to get into a good position of HP, as they all sort of have half pants and so forth. But yo, George just goes taken down over there. Crazy Rejects doing the most right now.
Yeah, they just dropped the opponent into a box and they got a quick elim on him. So yeah, and then they find a whole nother refresh on the low ground. So it looks like they're just claiming that low ground, trying to claim it early, claim as much space as they can, use the mats, and yeah, play out the end game. Like I said, these guys like Travis and Rejects and the Cov are getting a lot of elims today. They're making sure they get, like, if they don't get that like late game, they'll get that good end game points.
Yeah, let's see exactly what happens over there. But let's go jump on board, guys, with vibes to see. Like you mentioned, they could have potentially found each other. In fact, Ace Gloves in them is somebody that we haven't really looked at, and now we get to see a full trio alive. This is a rare situation for the team, but they are alive, they are present. They don't have too much heals to their name, however.
Yeah, they only have a certain amount of minis. Looks like they are splitting it up a bit, and yeah, they're gonna need that refresh to get that white. It looks like they don't have any white health, because if they did, we would have seen them max white health. So I think they're gonna need that refresh. Looking into with the mats, even the mat situation, they're gonna need some mats as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, let's see exactly what happens. But right now, in a really good position in the map right here. They get the first sort of moving zone location, and therefore can start topping ahead of zone. Not that much mats to deal with at hand right here. 235 metal, 30 brick, and hard mats is generally what you want going into the tops and so forth of the players. but now they're just not going to be finding that. And look what we have on our hands. Game 4 Surge and 3 eliminations here for Gloves and them.
Yeah, they comfortably above that damage, and it looks like they are going for the launch pad, so they don't need to spend all their mats on that first moving zone.
Yeah, and it looks very good for them now as they get into and further into the zone right now. Trying to look at his next opposition, which he could have boxed, and that would have been a hyped up moment of note. Very separated from Ace and Luca. He will be building up, but he is going to get focused, and now down to 408 mats. Side jumps into a good position of area, but he's going to get focused from other locations, and this is questionable on why they are so separated in this position. Now Gloves is in a tough position. Ace gets knocked, however, and Luka Rakic will be making rotations with Gloves, where Gloves is just a hairline of HP, and it doesn't look too good for them. Has that max pool of zone is in play, and if he gets tickled by the zone over here, he will be in a tough position, because only 19 HP, 2 seconds in the zone means he will be dead. Now we see him just rotating in the builds that he was previously in. He jumps into a box, but there's nothing he can do as he is jumping straight into the players of Stereo and them, and they're all prepared. They're playing that one quite well. The team plays that we are witnessing out from them has been amazing. But now Mike Stick's in a position where he wants to try get revived, just won't be happening, and his vibes makes that rotations as a solo. We look at Rejects, Travis, and the Cov on height, and so many other players down below them. Only 23 players, guys, who are sitting in this position. So many placement points to be made over here. So many eliminations to be rewarded to Rejects and his team.
Yeah, definitely. They went for that height, and I think they want to win this game, eh? Once they win this game, they probably won the whole series or the week. So it's pretty important for them to now just get those kills, get even more kills. I mean, saying more like they haven't got enough kills yet. But yeah, that's what they've been doing the whole day. They've been getting those high elim games, and yeah, just pumping everyone out of the sky, getting damage, getting killed as they go. So yeah.
Yeah, let's see exactly what happens right now. But down they go into the mid levels, picking up so many eliminations right now. Double digits, 11 eliminations. Scotty Spaz ready for what could potentially go in favor for him. Can't really rotate in that area. Gets tagged up heavily, and he is gonna go down. However, Goliath Travis, in the other sense, gets a elimination by a great fall, and the Cov as well picks up an elimination. Now it's down to a 2v2. Who will be walking out of this one? Like you mentioned, the win right now here could mean so much for the team, and they could be happy on terms of how things are being played out for them. The Cov drops all the way down, the double pump onto the players, one from Travis, the other one from the Cov. The Cov charges his shotgun, gets the Vic Roy, and they will be walking away with 15 eliminations and a win. So 40 points in the very last moment over here. Consistent plays that we're witnessing, but there is still only one game left, but I feel like we can crown our winners over here, Ron.
Yeah, definitely. That was an incredible game from them. I mean, like I said, today they're going for that high elim victory royale. So yeah, whatever comes their way, I mean, they 100% deserve it.
Yep, definitely. Well, we're gonna be taking a little bit of a short break, guys. We'll be back for game number 5.
what we do here is go back.